Hi friends, in last video we have seen the brakes and the wheels. In this video we are going to continue the part of unit number 4, automobile tires. Myself Mr. S.P. Udgave, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Sharad Institute of Technology, College of Engineering, Hyderabad. So content of this video is the tire functions and properties, tire types of carcass and the that is also called as a tread. Comparison of the radial and bias ply tires, tire materials and the consideration in tread design, tire designation and the factors affecting to the tire life, the tire trouble shooting and the tire manufacturing. So let's continue, begin with the one by one. Tire and its function. The tire is the rubber member which gives the cushion to the automobile. It consists of the outer cover, that is a tire, that is a proper, and the tube inside. The tire tube assembly is mounted over the wheel rim, and air inside the tube carries entire load and provides a cushioning effect for the vehicle smoothly drive on the roads. So tire cross section, first figure, that is shows the reed is inside the wheel rim. This is the bead set shoulder tube. Inside we can provide tread, different types of tread as per the requirement of the environmental conditions. Carcass, sidewalls, the bed. The wheels are shown. The up cross section we can overview, we can see the bead and the bead cover inside the wheel rim, and these are the sidewalls. This is a shows the shoulder, and the at the top portion, that is comes in contact with the road, that is a tread. The function of the tire, to support the vehicle load. Second function, to provide the cushioning effect against the shocks, to transmit the driving and braking force to the road, and finally to provide the cornering power for the smooth steering. So these are the basic functions that is a we can achieve through the good quality of tire. Properties of the tires, that is a non-skidding, uniform wear, load carrying, cushioning, power consumption, tire noise, and balancing. So, types of tires are conventional tube tires and tubeless tires. Most of nowadays we can use the tubeless tires, having the advantages compared with the conventional tube tires. Tube tires, spokes, and this is the rim on which we can fit the tire, that is the fabric inside cover, inner cover, rubber cushioning, and the finally these are the bead wires. Tubeless tires, that is we can see the construction of the tubeless tires, that is a drop rim inside which bead it is a bead it is a provided, and wall rubber skirting substructure it is provided inside the inner core or inner lining, and flexible zone. This is a shoulder cap of the tire protector. Advantage of the tubeless tire, that is a lesser unsprung weight, better cooling, lesser rolling resistance, comfortable ride, slower leakage of the air, and simpler assembly, and improved safety. Types of the carcass or the tread: cross ply, or it is also called as a bias ply type, radial ply type, and belted bias type. The first one, that is a cross ply or the bias ply, in which the cross or the casing plies are taken in a cross way with the inner lining. Casing plies are shown. These are the bead wires, bead wrap. It is provided to hold all the bunch of the bead wires. Casing plies are provided. These are the on the cross or the bias ply type. This is a they can provided in the cross ply. Cross ply or the bias ply type, can see the image. That is the first one. This is the cross ply. Similar way, this another, that is a cross, that is a plies provided in the cross way. So both, that is a gives the much more strength at the 23 psi ground contact pressure. Also they can take the better load conditions. Radial type, radial ply type cross section, we can see rubber under the thread pattern. Similarly, radial means that is a parallel to the inner core lining. Plies are provided. That is a numbers of, that is a parts or the cross section that is mentioned. It is the inner core, casing ply, centering or fitting line, bead core and bead toe. Bead protector ply, it is also provided. And compare with the radial ply, the mostly the with the inner lining plies are parallel, and under load it can be contain the load 16.5 psi ground contact pressure, and most of the flat in contact with the road. Cross plies are taken somewhat that is a angular, particularly they can minimum contact with the road. Belted bias means we can use the belt plies and the body plies. So these are the three types, that is a bias ply, radial ply and the belted bias, that is a cross section or the combination of the bias and radial type, that is a belted bias type. The comparison of the radial and bias ply tires. The advantages of the radial ply tires: the side walls can be bent radially. Its shock absorbing capacity is 25% more than the bias ply and the cross ply. Another, that is the breaker strips of the radial tires acts independently of the wall plies, unlike in a cross ply where there is a no breaker strip, and also lower rolling resistance and the hysteresis loss leads to be less fuel consumption, and longer tread life because of the less heat built in a tire. The braking efficiency on wet roads is better because of the greater sidewalls flexibility and the tread stiffness. Similar, that is a smaller slip angles and the higher cornering power, which results in better steering characteristic. While taking turns, it has a less tendency to distort and lift off the road from the one side, and larger resistance to the punctures, cut and the impacts in the trade area. Tire material for carcass at the time of the Second World War, that is a staple cotton was a tire carcass material. It was replaced with the rayon. The nylon was introduced, which is a stronger, more elastic, and the cooler running than the rayon. Then Trilene was the introduced. For cords and stabilizer bars, the rayon, Trilene, and glass fibers or steels are used. The rubber used in tires is a blend of nature and the synthetic rubbers, to which various chemicals are added. to obtain the desired properties like the wear resistance, reduced hysteresis, and less internal friction. Consideration in a trade design for the design: grip, noise, and the wear. These are the three parameters mostly considered in a tread design. Tire designation. So each company it is having their own tire designation. We can take some examples: Polo, Seat, TVS, MRF. These companies having their own tire metric tire designation. First letter, that is a tire type. P means that is a passenger or the temporary or the commercial. Light truck, LT means light trucks that represent. Second second word, that is a 205, that is a section width. It is shown. This is a section total section width. It represent 185, 195, 205, etc. Similar way, the number 75, that is aspect ratio, is the section height, or this is section width. This is section height. It shows 70, 75, 80, etc. R means that is a construction type: radial, bias, belted, or diagonal bias, RBD. So this letter represent the type of construction type. And finally the letter 15, number 15, that is a rim diameter in inches represent. Similar way, the each and every company having their marking system on the tires. You can see the load and pressure marking, that is required, not required in UK. So type of construction, radial type, and the load index and speed symbol, it is provided. The uniform tire quality marking requirement, tread wear indicators, and old style speed marketing, including the speed control symbol, mud and snow if applicable. Factors affecting tire life, that is the inflation, vehicle maintenance, manner of driving, and miscellaneous factors are affect the life of tire. Trial troubleshooting, there is a side wear of tires, one side wear of tire, center wear of tire thread, uneven tire wear, uniform rapid wear with feathered edges and thread cracking, thread or ply separation, loss of tire pressure, radial tire lead, and the radial tire puddle. So these are the troubles or comes because of their camber, caster angles, and actual working position. Or numbers of factors are affecting to the tires, and numbers of troubles are coming. So finally, that is a tire manufacturing, that is natural and synthetic rubber comes with the belly cutting, and after that with the compounding ingredients and the weighing required amount, we can with the batch box and the Banbury mixing. Then that's a sheeting will be done, and this is a cooling. After cooling, that is a stock will be comes to the rubber stock, which is goes with the steel rayon or the cotton. It is a added with the repressing and cutting. Similar with the reheating and calendaring, it is done. And both, that is a with the type of tire, that is radial, bias, or belted, we can assemble, and conformation and extrusion done, and tire marking is done, and vulcanization, that is cures, and finally we can get the finished tire. Thank you. Stay connected for the next videos.